My name is Daniel Holder. I'm the Managing Director of the Quiet Site, a holiday park up at Ullswater, and I've been asked to talk to you very quickly about sustainable transport. 20 years ago, the Quiet Site decided it wanted to become a fully sustainable business. Operationally, we've done quite well. We've removed all our carbon and oil boilers from our day-to-day operation. We have fully insulated accommodation types. We have removed much of the waste from our operation, so I feel we've done quite well there. It's been quite successful. In terms of the transport, it's another story. We've seemed to find removing carbon from bringing our guests to us and moving them around when they're here very difficult. We've had 5 or 6 initiatives over the last 20 years. I'll just run through those. Firstly, we offer a discount to all of our customers who arrive on foot, on cycle, or by public transport. Uptake for this has been poor at best, irrespective of how much discount we offer. Secondly, we rented out a couple of little electric cars to our guests a few years ago. Again, uptake was very low for this. It was part of a Cumbria-wide scheme, but I'm thinking that probably that initiative came too early. And for the last 20 years, we've been trying to create a multi-user path between Penrith Station and the Ullswater Valley. This again has been unsuccessful, mostly due to reluctant landowners. Fourthly, we are trying to implement a hopper bus in the valley to move our guests around once they're here. Local businesses have supported this financially, and we are quite hopeful something will come up. Certainly next year we're looking to start that service. One problem we've got is that the bus provider who runs a bus through the valley thinks that this might make their service become less viable. Now we're working with that company to try to create a service where we have shared ticket sales and where one doesn't step on the toes of the other. So again, that's still a possibility. The fifth initiative was to close a road on the side of Ullswater, the A592, between Watermillock and Air Force, to allow people to experience that lovely stretch of road without a car, either on a bicycle, on foot, wheelchair, mobility scooter, whatever, but just without the cars. That's run into a couple of problems. That was supposed to happen in September of this year. Couple of complaints from Glenridding businesses who felt that their profits would suffer, and that day has now been rescheduled for March 2023, so it's very much still a runner. And the last thing that we did, and I think this is the one that's so far shown a little bit of success, was the formation of Situ, Sustainable and Integrated Transport for Ullswater. Local councillors, businesses and experts have come together to try and create a network of sustainable transport in our valley before it becomes inevitably gridlocked with the increasing numbers of cars going forwards. So that's what we've done, but where do I see the future? Well, my own view is that sustainable transport is heading very much in the wrong direction. Our government measures transport success by the number of cars moved, not the number of people moved. And I think the £100+ billion that's going to be spent on new roads could do much better use being spent on improving our bus and train networks. Secondly, in a former life, I used to race electric boats, and the thing you find out very quickly when you're racing electric boats is the power to weight ratio is absolutely crucial. And this brings us on to the electric cars that are in existence at the moment. They are trying to move 7 times the amount of metal as people around, and they're just too big. Electric cars produced are just trying to mimic internal combustion cars, and the reason for that, of course, is the bigger the car, the bigger the profit. So take a small car, it's cheaper to build, it has a smaller battery, so that's less lithium. It's certainly quicker and easier to charge from a smaller infrastructure. So therefore the charging network that everybody's worried about putting in will become less of an issue. So everything from my point of view gears towards the fact that we should be looking at smaller electric cars, not just trying to mimic an internal combustion sized car. Tourism will have to face up to the fact that international visitors arriving by plane will be a thing of the past. The Cumbrian coastline could certainly present a bit of an opportunity here, but it's worth remembering that the biggest emitter of carbon in transport is by people that have flown to the UK and subsequently visit Cumbria. Fourthly, public and shared transport I think is going to become absolutely vital to reducing our footprint, and a complete change in the way these services are provided is needed. Free or very cheap services are the way to go. Lastly, probably gamification I think is going to become really important in promoting the use of this shared transport. As a business, we know where our customers come from. 2/3 from the northwest, 1/3 from the northeast. And we also know where they're going to go when they're here. Linking accommodations and visitor attractions shouldn't be difficult, and I certainly think that within the next 5 to 10 years, this will be achieved throughout Lake District and indeed Cumbria. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.